everyone, it's Natalie here. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. It's been a minute. I've been busy doing other things besides gardening, but I am happy to say that my garden is holding up well, even in these hot temperatures. The shade cloth is a godsend. I can't say it enough. Shade cloth is a must when you're in, especially in the South in Louisiana. It was needed, but one thing that I'm finding quite fascinating is that over in my corner, which I did call it the shady corner, now it's the pepper patch, because I was able to successfully clear everything out over there in what I call the shady corner, and I'm sure you've seen that. And I've turned it into the pepper patch, so that's where all my peppers are. I'm growing several varieties of sweet peppers, sweet bell peppers. I have one banana pepper plant. They started off great, but then now they're getting a lot of little brown spots. I don't even know if it's sun scald. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, I harvested some earlier today. And of course I harvested okra. I have more okra than I know what to do with, but that's okay. I just love to see productivity. I love to see growth. And I can't believe those plants that I planted, those okra plants that I planted early spring, is still producing. It's good. That's good. So I am going to give you a quick little tour of the garden. Oh, one thing, I did harvest the carrots. They were so tiny. They grew, but they were very, very small. I think I'll see if I can show you some of them. I actually put them in the compost bin. They were so tiny. It's like, I don't know. I just decided to go and check and see, oh, let me see if it's time to harvest my carrots. And then I also read that you can also harvest like a few at a time, that you can go and kind of just pull up a few. So I decided to do that. When they came out so small, I said, wait a minute, let me check. So I just started pulling them up, and they were minuscule, okay? So it's like that much time and energy and fertilizer that I'm putting into these little tiny carrots that I don't think are gonna grow any more than what they were kind of bunched together. It is important, lesson learned. It is important to, you may have to sprinkle a lot of seeds and on the soil and, do the whole process of, to get them to germinate. But then once they do begin to germinate and they begin to grow, it is important to thin them out. I tried to, but I guess I didn't thin them enough. But yeah, it's important, because if they grow together, they're going to be small. If they don't have enough room to grow, I thought I had them separated from any other. They had their own little container, because carrots need like a loamy, sandy soil. That's my son Josh. Hi. Yeah, you can sit. We're not gonna stay out here too long. Sit. I went and got sand, and so I could add sand to the soil to make it, loamy, sandy soil. Perfect for carrots. And they were so small. I'll let you see. Like I said, look, I have to dig in the compost bin. But that's okay. It's not that I'm not going to try it again, because I do believe that's a fall vegetable too. So I've already have my list planned. I love growing the brassicas. So I already have my little fall garden list planned out. Can't wait to grow cabbages. Last year I grew cabbage, collards, broccoli, onion, garlic. That's what I grew. I can't remember. I think that's it. Oh, potatoes. How could I forget that? I grew potatoes. So I will do that again. And I think I may add carrots to the list also. I gotta make sure. That's definitely a fall. Yeah. So I'll try again. I'll try again. Maybe another variety of carrot. So, but I wanted to. Josh is gonna be a little noisy. He's getting his outside time. We try not to stay out here too long, especially when it's really hot. Um, I've just been taking it easy lately because when I do get out there, when I do have, yes, I'm all right, baby. When I do have the strength and energy, I go hard. You should have seen me repotting banana plants and, uh, you know, uh, getting the pepper patch ready. Ooh! If you watch the video, you see notice I'm moving real slow. That's because of the heat. I even had the camera. If you go back and look, I think it's called Under Construction. That's the name of the title of the video. I have the camera actually underneath the shade cloth. That's why it's such a weird angle. But because the camera will heat up, it will heat up. So I had it under the shade cloth, and I slowly took my time and just dismantled everything, and I had to move all these different plants, trim it in my, I love my little bricks. I love using bricks for edging because they're cheaper than going into the garden section and getting the edging. Go over the cement masonry and get you some bricks. They're cheaper. You may be able to find some things over in the garden section to use it as edging. That is affordable, but I'm not spending a lot. I mean, it's not like I'm doing a fancy pavement or something. It's just some trim. And in actuality, it is so there can be a separation between the garden area and the grassy area, so my husband can come or I can come with the weed eater and weed around the garden. There's so many weeds in the garden right now. I'm so disappointed because you have to get a foothold. Don't let it get a foothold. You have to pull those weeds as soon as you see them. But because of, first of all, sickness, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but at the beginning of July, I got really sick. I had the worst sinus. I don't even know what it was. I don't sinusitis or whatever, but it was a really bad case of it. So I was off my feet for several days. And then I finally got my strength back. Yeah, I was weak. I stayed in bed for 5 days. No joke. It was the worst sinus attack, I think, combined with the heat, and I do have allergies. So the heat and being out there working, because when I get in that garden, I go hard. I just can't help it, because it's like I want so bad for everything to be in order, and because you're dealing with plants and the weather and all that. If it rains hard, then it grows out of control. So you got to go, and each individual plant has to be taken care of. So it's like, I got to prune this, I got to fertilize that, I got to do. So I try to keep my garden, and I don't want to overdo it because I may not have the strength and energy to, especially in this heat. That's spring. It was much nicer. Fall, it was nice because there were days when it was cold, but I didn't have all those insects to deal with. Now it's like Wild Kingdom out there. Oh goodness! During the spring, the bees used to attack me when I was trying to hand pollinate my watermelons. And even I was running when I like to hand pollinate my corn too. I think it's a must. I don't just shake the stalks. I go in there and I clip off the little male part of the plant, and I actually take it and shake it on the silks. So I had to fight the bees then. That was spring, but I was proud to say it was my first time growing watermelon and first time growing corn. I did good. I am so pleased. Okay, humbly pleased. Because I am a first time grower. I'm a novice grower. This is I'm in June. I celebrated my 1 year anniversary of container and raised bed gardening, and I did pretty good. And like I always say, what I learned from the experience first go round, I use that knowledge to do better next time. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of the garden to show you how things are faring. But I wanted to mention the carrots because the carrots are not there anymore. So there's going to be a little empty spot where I had the beans. I have pinto beans on one side, red kidney beans on the other, and in the middle they had the carrots. And so now the carrots are gone. There's an empty spot, and I'm trying to decide what to place there in that spot. And also about succession planting. That's perfect because I got rid of the carrots. And so now there's a spot there where I can put something else in its place. And I was kind of looking up different things that would go. It's a good companion for beans. Beans are good for the soil anyway. They fix nitrogen to the soil, so it's rich soil. I just have to determine what I want to put in that spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop yammering and go show you what's going on in the garden. And Josh is getting loud, so let's see. That's it though. I'm gonna get one of those bug zappers. Okay, so those are my Jupiter sweet bell peppers. They're still babies. I've been pinching off the tops. Okay, that is the sweet banana pepper back there. That's a California Wonder. Grand Bell Mix. I don't know what this one is. What is that? Oh, that's a Jupiter. That's another Jupiter. That is, I think, a yellow bell pepper. Just a yellow sweet bell pepper. Or red, I'm not sure. You know what? I think I'm wrong. I think that's the red bell pepper. And this is orange and yellow. But one of the things, look, I'm going to show you where there's some sun scald. Look. So it is important when you're pruning, leave some of the leaves on there for shade. And you notice the peppers, I normally have shade cloth over here. And I use the lower percentage, which is 30%. That's the lowest I have. And this is, I consider this the shady corner. But now it's the pepper patch, and I was supposed to put the shade cloth back up. But I've been kind of just letting it get some sun. And it seems to be doing okay. They seem to be doing okay. Okay. So that's the pepper patch. The only other pepper plant I have, I'm going to try to move slowly so I won't have shaky cam. Now I have some greens in here. I have Florida mustards, and I have some collards over here. Actually, those collards should be farther along than they are, but I'll tell you what happened. My silly self closed up that greenhouse topper, and I didn't get out here early enough. It was a day where it was hot, even early in the morning. I slept late and didn't come out early enough to open it up and let it catch some air, and it killed those collards that way. So this is regrowth. Now those Florida mustards, I actually started them in little seeds as seedlings, and then I transplanted them into this container. But that's my little greenhouse topper. So you saw I have a greenhouse and then the greenhouse topper. That's rosemary back there. That is my lettuce, and that is the I have lettuce, window box, and I forgot the other one. I think it's I forgot the name of it. I apologize, but that's my lettuce, and that is my super sweet Genovese basil, which
It doesn't repel many bugs, but it repelled my family. My husband and my son, they asked me to take it outside. I had harvested. So this is regrowth. I harvested the sweet Genovese basil, super sweet Genovese basil, and brought it inside, and they were like, "What is that smell?" I had to take it out. So, not a problem. I don't think I'll be able to cook with it, and I love doing Italian dishes, but if it's that strong that they don't even like the smell of it, I'm not gonna be able to cook with it. I know it's probably time to harvest the rosemary. Look, I'm learning. I gotta learn how to harvest the herbs because right next to it, I'll show you. I'm over here now, so I'm gonna show you real quick the okra plants. They're getting a little spindly looking now, but they have served me well. Trust. I have gotten more okra than I can shake a stick at, and I harvested some this morning. So I have 6 okra plants over here. On you have Clemson spineless and the Louisiana green velvet. So I want to say these 4 plants over here is the Louisiana green velvet, and the Clemson spineless is right here. Those 2 plants. Let me go back over here so you can see the oregano and the parsley. Yes, I need to harvest it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. All right. Back there are the Beauregard sweet potatoes, and it is coming close to harvest time for them. I was trying to wait till the end of July, beginning of August. Okay. These are my potato plants. Yeah, they're dying off, so these potatoes, I have Kennebec, Red Norland, and Yukon Gold. They are late summer harvest. I started these from seed potatoes that I purchased, and certified Blue Label seed potatoes, and it was for a late harvest, a late summer harvest. So I'm thinking August, maybe end of August, early September. These are my only marigolds that I have left. The other ones died off. I think I have one other plant over there and a few in the raised bed. My marigolds. Okay. Those are sunflowers. And I'm going to, just like I did with the other plants, I'm going to remove them out of this pot where they're all growing together. And there's a reason why I did it this way. I know that it seems like a bad idea. I didn't think they would germinate. I didn't think the seeds would germinate. I didn't think they would grow. And I was pleasantly surprised when they did, okay? So they definitely can't stay together because they're huge plants. This is where I had carrots. My carrots were in here, and remember I told you I harvested the carrots. They were extremely small. But this is where that caterpillar were, and I just sprayed him, and he survived. I don't know where he is now, but I'm gonna reuse that soil. Okay, now here's over here where I am just heartsick. Look at this, all these weeds. And either it's too hot or rainy, so I can't get in here. I tried to pull some by hand. So, but it's just, something's just saying, just go ahead and let it grow. Just let it grow. But I just can't stand the look of it. I'm thinking of covering it with some mulch, but maybe some stepping stones or something. Anyway, the petunias, I just cut them back, especially this one. If you don't cut your petunias back, they will think that they're done and they will set seed. So if you want them to continue to grow, you have to cut them. Okay, that's my lone cherry tomato plant. I was growing several cherry tomato plants for my husband, and that little rascal didn't help me eat them. So I dialed it back because To me, they were hard to maintain, and this one became humongous. It took over the raised bed. I had to prune, and I got it to where it's controlled. So, but the other two plants, if you look at one of my videos, I showed where I actually cut down those other two cherry tomato plants. I just don't enjoy growing them. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not a cherry tomato eater. Like I said, I was growing this for someone else. That's why I made my declaration that I am no longer growing anything by request, because people may request something, hey, grow this, and then they don't help you eat them. So there I am with a bunch of cherry tomatoes, and I don't eat them. So look at these peppers. Now I'm gonna tell you, this little plant here is a miracle plant. Okay? This bell pepper plant here is the last one standing. In this raised bed in the spring, I planted 12 bell pepper plants. Yellow, orange, red, green. 12. And that is the only one still alive. One by one, they died. So, and look, it has nice big peppers on there. Okay? Not only is it's a survivor, but it's productive. Come on now. Look at that. I got some basil in there too. Okay, let's see. It's getting hot, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Here is where the other carrots was. See that little empty spot right in the middle? I had carrots there. Minuscule, I'm telling you, they're very small. So right here on this side, those are my pinto beans. And over there are the red kidney beans. Okay. The leaves look terrible. I gotta look into that to see what's going on. But they're growing. I got my little makeshift trellis with the hula hoops, my dollar store hula hoops. So it's getting kind of heavy, so I'm gonna have to reinforce it. I hope you can see. Okay. I'm gonna just move right over here since I'm near. This is my corn. That's the peaches and cream sweet corn. Next to it is silver and gold sweet corn. And here is the early Sunglow. Okay. Now, what I want to tell you about it when I was referring to treating soil, for the longest, because they were so small, I did not have mulch on these plants. You know, you wait to mulch them when they get tall enough. But before I do any mulching or add anything, I like to treat the soil with Neem Max. You just saturate, you don't spray the plants, you saturate in the soil. So that's what I did. And then I added the mulch. And last year I used, last season, I used wheat straw. This time I'm using the chips, the wood chips, the wood mulch, and I'm loving it. It retains, almost wish I could just go around and do it on everything you see here. I haven't totally given up on wheat straw, but I'm just noticing this wood mulch helps retain moisture like nobody's business. But also I have to separate the plants because I just realized that they're different varieties and I don't want them to cross-pollinate, so I will have to move them. It's gonna be a hard task, but I'll get someone to help me. Okay. My banana plants over here, still going strong. I'm learning a lot about banana plants. So I was able to separate the mother from her pups, but there's more to be done. I need to do my research on the banana plants. Okay. Watermelons are still growing. I see some very ugly leaves. It's been so hot I can't even come out and hand pollinate. So I'm hoping the bees are doing their job. because it's too, either it's raining or I'm sweating now as I'm talking to you guys. These are sugar babies. Those are also sugar babies right there. Those are new plants. And as you can see on these, I'm actually using the wood mulch. And the watermelons, you need to keep not saturated and soppy wet, but you do need to keep them moist, the soil moist. So, and it's using that wood mulch instead of the trying to get close so you can see. It works so much better. I love it. As you can see, I have it on the banana plant. Oh, these are sunflowers. These are the mammoth sunflowers. These are some that I separated a couple of days ago. But as you can see, I'm using the wood mulch on those. Try not to do shaky cam footage, so I apologize. These are 2 indeterminate plants. I think that one is called Better Boy. That's an indeterminate tomato plant. And this one over here is a Celebrity, I believe. Celebrity Plus, and it's an indeterminate. The other 3 are determinate. So that's a Creole in the back, supposed to be heat tolerant and disease resistant. This one is called Amelia. It's also a hybrid. It's a determinate. Okay, that's the Creole in the back. Over here is called a Somerset. It's also a determinate. Okay, and I just watched a video just to refresh my memory on with the indeterminate plants, you need to prune them. Okay, you're gonna have to tie them. It's a lot more work. But with the determinate ones, you prune, but don't do too much pruning. Okay, you just get those bottom leaves that are close to the soil, so you can so they won't get diseases. So other than that, you can cut off a few brown leaves or whatever, but do not prune your determinate tomato plants like you do the indeterminate, because you're losing fruit. Because with the determinate tomato plants, it's already determined. Listen to the name. It's already determined how large the plant's going to get and pretty much how much fruit it's going to produce. So if you're cutting off all the leaves all over the place, you are losing tomatoes. That's with the determinate. Now with the indeterminate, you will have to prune. They're going to get bigger. You're going to have to tie them. Okay? Another thing with the determinate, and you may already know this, but I like to share what knowledge I do have. I grew some determinate tomatoes during the spring. Once they produce, I have to get out of the heat. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. Okay. Look, see how I'm sweating? Yeah, and look, it's a bonnet and hat day. Woo. Okay. With the determinate tomatoes, they do have a short lifespan. So, I mean, those of you who already know this, but I'm just going to share it anyway. They will grow, produce their fruit, and normally it's all at the same time. I've learned to harvest them at first blush. Don't let them stay on there, so the insects will have a field day. And then let them continue to ripen, inside or wherever. But harvest them at first blush. When they first start turning red, they don't have to ripen on the vine. You can go ahead and pick them then when they're large enough. But it's already determined how tall it's going to be, 3 to 4 feet, I believe. Depends on what variety that you purchase. And after that, it's going to go through a process where the plant starts dying off, and it's going to shock you. It's going to break your heart to see this beautiful plant all of a sudden. And you're at first, see, my first time growing the determinate plants, tomato plants, I did not know that they were going to die off.
But once they're finished producing, they begin to die off. So I'm noticing the leaves are curling and they're turning colors, and the plant's drying up, and I'm like, no, it's okay. Oh my God, something's wrong with my. It has to be okay. It's still producing fruit. Yeah, it's producing the fruit that it was already determined that it was going to produce, and but then the plant begins to die out, and so look for that. Don't be surprised when you see them dying out. They have a short lifespan. With the indeterminate, they will grow taller, produce more fruit, and I mean, you have to keep pruning and tying and cutting suckers and all that stuff, pruning the suckers, and it will die out probably, I guess, your first frost, you know. Which for us in Louisiana, maybe November. I think in November, that's when we get our first frost. So you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. I have wasted too much of your time already. Y'all could be out there gardening. Happy gardening, y'all. So, actually, I'm getting ready for a procedure that I'm gonna have tomorrow. So, I've actually been on a liquid diet. I'm so hungry. I've eaten popsicles and chicken broth, but I'm having a routine procedure done. So I have to prepare for that. So that's another reason why I'm staying out of the sun, because I don't have any nourishment. Nothing but chicken broth and popsicles. I get out there and pass out in that raised bed.
You alright?
Get up, and Tony find me stretched out in the raised bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to get your juice. I'll get your juice. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. You guys, I hope you're enjoying your summer. I hope you're having a successful harvest. I hope you guys are just you're beating the heat. You're not letting the heat beat you. Okay, you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. And I want to thank all my new subscribers. I do have a few new subscribers, and I'm so glad you guys decided to take the journey with me. And for those of you who haven't decided, why not give it a try? You might enjoy the journey. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.